Hello and welcome back to Sunny Talk Spurs, and today I'm going to be outlining the importance of the return of Heung-Min Son and Yves Bissouma. But before we get into this one, if you are new to the channel, why don't you leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sunny Talk Spurs and hit that notification bell because it will let you know when I've gone live. And also, for just 99p a month, you can help support the channel and become a member of Sunny Talk Spurs. And with that, you get exclusive access to my weekly podcast, Nice One Sunny. Remember to get your questions down below with the hashtag Nice One Sunny, and you may start in the Q&A section of the video. I'm really keen to get you more involved in my content week in, week out. But now, let's get into Bissouma and Son. So Tottenham fans will now all be aware that Bissouma, Sarr and Son have all returned from the Asian Cup and AFCON respectively. Sarr actually returned last weekend and featured for a patch of the game against Everton as Senegal were knocked out a little while ago from AFCON. But this week, Bissouma has been knocked out of AFCON as well. Mali didn't make it past the quarter-final stage, I believe. And Son was knocked out in the semi-finals of the Asian Cup. Obviously, heartbreaking for them, all three of them, to be knocked out and not win the tournament. But it means a good thing for Tottenham fans. We get our full squad back up and ready. And also, I was a bit annoyed, actually, because, you know, having not won it, it almost feels like they went out there and wasted their time. But that's a different discussion. It's just a thing about international tournaments being slap bang in the middle of the season. I know you have to with certain continents, but it's made it more harder for us to really do what we wanted to this season. You know, we have lost so many vital players this season through injury, suspension, and now the international tournaments. But now we can move on and be positive about the remainder of the season, because for the first time since those opening 10 fixtures, we now have our starting squad and starting 11 back together. We know the strongest starting 11 that we saw at the beginning of the season. It had the likes of Vicario in goal, Destiny Udogie, Pedro, Porro, Mickey van der Ven, Cristian, Romero, midfield of Bissouma in the 6, and we had Maddison and Sarr a bit further in front, and we had Kulusevski and Son and Richarlison playing. But, you know, that can also, you know, be mixed up a little bit. Werner has come into the squad. We've got Dragusin now as well. Bentancur wasn't available at the beginning of the season through injury. So we now have a nice range of players to finally pick from. Because in the last couple of weeks as well, I've looked at our bench, you know, when a starting lineup's been named or during a game when we've been struggling, and thought to myself, there's literally no one to pick from now, is there? There's no one to come on unless they're a youngster, but the pressure would be on for them in that game. You know, you want them to feature in games where we're comfortable and maybe a bit ahead, not having to turn the tide. But two key members of this squad who have returned, as I say, are Bissouma and Son. And a lot of people will, you know, agree with me in the sense of Son returning. He is our captain, for example. He is our talisman. You know, all you got to do is look at his stats so far this season, which will be on screen right now, and just look at how many goals he has contributed to the team. You know, in 20 Premier League appearances, having 12 goals and 5 assists, after last season where he was written off and discarded by a lot of neutrals and rivals, he has really stepped it up this season. You know, he is integrated. He can play through the middle as our striker if needed in certain games, but also plays so well on the left. We saw against Newcastle earlier on in the season how effective he was at roasting Kieran Trippier at right back. But Son is obviously a given of how important he is. I don't think I have to convince many Tottenham fans or argue his case and point. He is just fundamental to what we need. And you look at recent games where I know Richarlison has stepped up in recent weeks, but we still have lacked certain potency. But Son has been one of our most potent attackers over the last couple of years, obviously with Harry Kane as well. But, you know, we have seen in some instances, like Son, just most times he has a shot, ends up in a goal. He is that lethal in the attack. And I think it was the first time in like 5 or so years that we won a game the other day that didn't feature Kane or Son. So it shows how reliant we have been on those two players in recent seasons. But Son being back, you know, fully fit and raring to go will be of importance. But the other player is Bissouma. And Bissouma, at the beginning of the season, was quite impressive. You know, was fundamental as Ange's six. He was so good at turning the ball over, making tackles, progressing the ball, dribbling, all that sort of stuff. But he came under fire, in regard to certain of actions that he did on the pitch. You know, he got sent off quite a few times. I think it was 2 times. One against Luton, but it was a dive. And then in the game against Nottingham Forest, I believe he got sent off. So not ideal at all. But then he was also, he's been banned as well for receiving a high number of yellow cards in games. And people criticise him saying, is he actually as good as we thought? We signed him last year and he didn't hit the ground running. Was it a bit of a deceived perception? With Bentancur coming back, people were saying, well, can he play the 6 instead? There's a lot of questions going around, especially now where Tottenham are being linked with midfield signings in the summer. Just a lot of question marks over Bissouma, which I don't think myself was necessarily fair. All you have to do is look at his FB rev and show how important he is to the team. Look at his passes attempted, pass completion, progressive passes, progressive carries, successful take-ons, tackles, interceptions, blocks and clearances are so high. And, with that Ange Postecoglou 6, you have to be sort of good at everything. And personally, I don't think Bentancur is the best defensively, whereas I think Bissouma is. I'd love to see in the next couple of weeks a Bissouma, Bentancur, Maddison midfield. We can interchange Sarr as well. I think Sarr has been amazing this season. So it's good to have these options. It's a good selection headache for Ange Postecoglou to have. And even in the last couple of games, Bentancur hasn't been at his best, but I still don't think he's 100% fit. I've seen a lot of people in my comment section say about Bentancur's fitness and the importance of Bissouma as well. And it's good to highlight how important he is as much as Son in coming back to our Premier League squad. We've got a busy couple of weeks. Very important fixtures coming up. And both these players are going to be vital in Tottenham getting to where they want to be, getting into that top 4, securing European places, whether it be Europa League as well. It's really going to be a fight on. And, looking ahead to the next couple of games, they might not come in straight away. I think Son is more likely to come in straight away over Bissouma, but they will be bled in eventually. Got to get back up to the pace of it. But we've seen, Mickey van der Ven has come straight back into the squad and been class. Same with Romero. I mean, Bentancur did first of all, didn't he? When he returned from injury and he was made captain, was really good against Manchester United as well. So finally, Tottenham, after the rigmarole that has been this season of squad suspensions and all that sort of stuff through international duty, we can finally look ahead and have a squad that, hopefully pushes us over the line. We're achieving so much under Ange Postecoglou already, with some weeks having the bare minimum and bare bones of teams. But yeah, really happy with having all these squad members back, and hopefully, as I keep saying hopefully they'll get us top 4. But let me know what you think in the comments below. How important is it having Son and Bissouma back for Tottenham Hotspur for the remainder of the season? I will reply to all your comments as soon as this video goes live. But before then, I'd like to say a huge thank you for watching the video. If you are new to the channel, why don't you leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell because it'll let you know when I've gone live. And also for 99p a month, you can become a member of Sonny Talks Spurs. Link will be in the description down below, and you get exclusive access to my weekly podcast. Nice one, Sonny. Get your questions down below for that as well. And, go and check out some of my other videos. I did a video on Pedro, Neto and Rafinha being linked to the club. Can we get top 4 with a lot of Tottenham content creators in it? So go and check a few of them out ahead of the Brighton game. And I'll see you guys for the next video when I upload it. And ciao.